Hello YouTube, my name is Ash Rico and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna be filming my curly hair tutorial. This is what I found works for my hair. I don't do anything fancy. I'm not gonna use any like brushes or any crazy techniques. We're just gonna use our hands and a really good product. But anyways, let's get started. My hair is wet. I just did my makeup, so you can see part of it's already drying up, so we're gonna re-wet those. Have my bottle here, so let's go ahead and do that. So you want to get it nice and damp. I usually start doing my hair routine like right after the shower. I don't wait till it gets dry. It's really when it's like it's most wet. Woo! It is cold, but I'm gonna take off this robe. Okay. Now that the hair is nice and damp,
I'm gonna use the Eva NYC Strength Treatment.
I'm gonna put this in my hair because my hair has been getting a little too dry lately, so we're gonna put some of this on the ends of the hair. I do have a lot of layers, so I'm gonna work it up just a little bit, but just where those ends are. Now my hair it doesn't like heavy products. The more water-based the better. My curl type is like a mix of like big loose curls with some waves, especially since I've been coloring my hair. That's been the texture. I'm gonna go in with the leave-in conditioner, so I'm gonna put some of this in, not too much. I got about that much, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna put in my hair. Now that that's everywhere, I'm gonna part it. It's a little more than half, to be honest. I'm gonna grab two side pieces and then leave this piece in the back. That way there's no awkward like separation. I used to do that a lot where I would just separate it into two, and then it would be like two big strands and then one awkward space in the middle. So to avoid that awkward space parting in the middle, this is what I like to do. Okay, moving on to the technique that I use. So we're gonna have our fingers. We're gonna basically use like 3 for this section since it's a small section, but 3 fingers going straight across horizontally, and then you're gonna use 3 fingers going above and then interlocking those. So you're gonna be left with this, and then you're just gonna pull all the way down and let it fall, and then just scrunch. You can add more water in there if you would like. You want to have that like squishy sound, if that makes sense. That's how you know you've added in the right amount of product to your hair. So as you can see, there's some like little ringlets already forming. Now you can leave it here if you are looking for a more defined curl. If you look at the curl pattern, see how some are already clumping, like this one right here. If you see curls like that and you want it a little more defined, what you're gonna do is grab 2 fingers, so 2. You're gonna twist twice and then pull. You can use 2 or you can use 1. It's 1, 2, pull. You can also do it that way if you want a more tighter curl. If you would like a more in-depth tutorial on how I do that technique, let me know in the comments below.
Moving on to the back section, we're just gonna repeat the same steps, going across, right on top, and make sure you're pulling upwards.
And then scrunch that product in. Like so. Super simple. Now that that's done, we're gonna unclip this part. Now we have this side piece. Notice how I didn't take it all the way to the back? Now for this section, we're gonna basically open it up into two. You're gonna grab that back piece first, and same thing. Repeat. You're gonna be doing a lot of scrunching. Again, you're gonna split it into two parts. When you scrunch, you want to be a little delicate on it. You don't want to like go in roughly. When you do that, that's just gonna break whatever curl pattern we just created. It'll create frizz, it'll just it would not give you a great result for your curls. So you want to be very like careful when you're scrunching. Like I like to cup them and then bring them all the way up and then squeeze, 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 and then let them back down. I know it takes a lot of patience when doing your, especially if you're on a curly journey and you're trying to find your curl pattern. Try your best to be as patient as possible and really take your time when scrunching, because I do see a lot of videos where girls would put in their product, they're doing everything great, and then it comes to the scrunching part and they'll just literally just... Again, if you're wanting that frizz texture, go for it. That's just my tip. If you don't want that frizz and you really want it to be nice and defined and shiny, you want to make sure you're taking your time when scrunching. A microfiber towel works great. If you don't have one, a cotton t-shirt works just as great. If you don't want to be using your hands and you want to just scrunch using a t-shirt, you can do that as well. Now we're going to move on to the crown. I'm going to turn around so you guys can see.
Okay, now for this part, you want to make sure you're going straight across horizontally. Once you have that piece, I like to twist it. That way it doesn't get mixed in with the rest of the hair and we can come back to it when we need to.
Basically gonna follow the same technique, moving it forward. So you're just gonna continue making horizontal sections, kind of like a mohawk, all the way down. So if you feel your hair drying up, make sure to watering it so you can get the product to kind of activate again and you can glide your fingers through your hair a lot easier. Again, this is going to prevent frizz. So same thing, we're going to go straight across just like that, or like on top, and then pull. For this section, notice how I'm pulling it up and then letting it fall. The reason why I like to pull it up is so that we can have a little bit of a volume, like a little bump of volume in the back. To get more volume in the crown area, I would avoid parting my hair. So this is why I do this technique, to have it kind of like fall where it needs to fall and create that volume that we need. Sometimes I'll take my fingers here and kind of grab the root and then scrunch. And then be very gentle when rotating your head from one side to the other when you're scrunching. Again, it's to prevent frizz. You don't want to be flipping your hair around. Cool. Alright. I think we're down to our final piece. For this piece, now I do have some bangs, so I'm going to bring those out. So for this piece, again, same thing. Horizontal, up, and let it fall down. Alright. Now our final piece, which is the bangs. The bangs, for me, I just like to take them like this, like, see how I'm like kind of rolling it down? I'll take this piece and I'll just kind of like roll it in. Now they're kind of mini, so they will fall the way they want to, but I want to make sure they're being styled forward to create that volume in the front. The front pieces I tend to define a little more. I like to take my time with the bangs. Can be very frizzy. So I like to really take my time and like finger coil whatever I need to. We're gonna go in with mousse to really lock in everything that we just did. So I'm gonna be using the Dove Style & Care Curl Defining Mousse. I like this mousse because, like it says right here, it's a soft hold. So one thing I find about mousses is that they leave a very, very strong cast, and I don't like that personally. That's just not my go-to. Of course, it has to be on damp hair. Try to avoid, if you're using it on like second day hair and you're just trying to redefine your curls, make sure you're really, really damping your hair before putting this product in, because if you're just doing like a quick mist and then putting this product, you will get some flakiness. I like to use about this much for my hair. Now, another thing I do, and I'll just kind of gently run it through my hands here. Before putting it in my hair, I'm gonna show you a really quick technique on how I get it to really get all over the hair. So what I'm gonna do is basically tap my hair all around, including the insides, right here, other side. And I do this like tapping technique to really get very gently, kind of brush it into the hair. And then I'll go in and I'll scrunch. Okay, we're gonna take, I like to use these little metal clips. I got them off Amazon. I still have mousse. I got these clips off Amazon, so if you would like a direct link, it is in my Ally link and I'll put in the description below. You can also find it in my bio. It's always there. You're not paying extra. It's just a direct link. I'm an Amazon affiliate. Just letting you guys know. So I'm gonna use this clip, and what I'm gonna do is just at the root, going to get a little close here. I like to pinch the root that I'm gonna grab onto and then just clip it just like that. I'm just gonna continue going in a circle all the way around. Now, you can put clips if you have bangs. You can put clips around your bangs. I'm not going to do that. They are already pretty like mini bangs in a way, so I'm just gonna let them dry the way they need to. So I'm gonna give you a full 360 so you can see how I clipped my hair. So starting from the front, I basically went all the way around in a circle. I did add a few on the side. I am going to let my hair air dry. Once my hair is around 60 to 70% dry, I will then diffuse my hair. Say hi, Tina. Say hi. Yeah, look at that cutie. Look at those fierce eyes. Alright, I am back. My hair is still in a slight cast. I did take out the clips. Now, I like to diffuse my hair to kind of break that cast. You don't need to do that. You can also use a comb. You want to get yourself a comb like this one. And what you're going to do with this is you're going to go into the root and kind of pull it out like this. This will help break the hair away from the scalp. And the way I like to diffuse my hair is by grabbing the kind of like near the root, lifting it up just a little bit, and then going in with the diffuser into it. So that's what we're gonna do. Now that it's nice and diffused, I'm gonna go in with the comb again. And that is the final look after I diffused. It's nice and bouncy. As you can see, there's a lot of shine in there. Very nice and defined curls. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see my other techniques on how I style my curly hair, please let me know in the comments below and I'll make sure to do a video on that. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you guys, and until next time, peace.